BPod Studios.
If you've got the app, you've got Spirited Sports Talk.
I have one ear and I got that.
98.5, the Sports Hub. Toucher, Hardy.
You get used to sitting back and letting Daddy drive the car.
98.5, the Sports Hub.
All right. Yes, indeed. It's Toucher and Hardy, and we're brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel. And there's a new movie, Dune 2. And I can't guarantee you there's no spoilers in this, so check it out. And if you haven't read the books, what are you even doing? So Dune 2 is out. And you figure it's a sequel to a science fiction movie. Who would be better to review said film than our own Bird? Bird, who was so into movies that when he worked for the radio station, our show Answering Phones, he slowly, meticulously brought in a home theater. So during the show, he could watch movies with headphones on while he was supposed to be answering phones. The show was so boring.
He was like that guy who would steal a Corvette from the GM plant in Detroit, just taking one part out at a time, which never actually happened, but it was a big radio stunt. Except he did it by building a home theater at work. He'd bring in one component at a time, so no one thought anything of it until he was back there.
We couldn't figure out that he had speakers and then headphones and a computer. I'm not lying to you.
Surround sound.
I'm not lying to you. He brought in a whole system. He would lug it in so he could watch movies during the show. And it didn't occur to him. Here's how perfect his life is. First of all, we all get along with him. He holds no resentment towards us. And he just sat. We didn't even fire him. He got fired because of screwing around during COVID. And management got all nervous about it.
Oh, that's right.
He put up social media posts of him out gallivanting at bars during COVID, and management got all weirded out by it. It was like at the beginning of COVID where everyone was acting perfect. It was handled so well by all of us.
He was posting on doorknobliquors.com.
Exactly. And so he was like, screw COVID, I got to take a picture. And it was like him and like 15 people, and management was just like, no. No, they were very weirded out by it. But you had to sift through this audio, Hardy. Take us, young Nicholas. It was a premiere of Dune 2. Young Nicholas and Bird were out at the theater, and you had to sit through this audio.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes on for there are big chunks that I edited out that is mostly silence and mumbling. And what really strikes me about both of these guys is, Nick, I say this with all the love in my heart, you can't speak. Like you are sneaky bad at talking for somebody who works in the radio business.
No, that's why. I mean, that's his dream is to read books, is to do audible books.
And there's one thing at the end. I slowed it down. I listened to it 10 times. I have no idea what Bird says, but Nick can understand it. They speak each other's language.
Okay.
So the two mumbling, stuttering pricks known as Nick and Bird talking about Dune 2 for 20 minutes, mercifully cut down by a factor of 1/4 for you now.
All right, what's your name? Bird. Is it okay to use this for the radio?
Absolutely.
Well, I'm going to ask right off the bat, what do you think of the show?
I thought the movie was great.
No, I was talking about the show.
Oh, the new show? Yeah.
Yeah, the new show.
Oh, I am enjoying it.
You're enjoying the show?
Yes, I am.
What's your favorite moment of the new show?
I love... It's not exactly a moment. I love how Fred doesn't let Hardy talk that much. I think that's hilarious.
That's a bit we've been doing.
First of all, can you just go back to the very beginning? And this has bugged me about Squishy Nicky for years. The first thing that he says.
All right, what's your name? Bird. Is it okay to use this for the radio?
Absolutely.
Use this for the radio? Yeah, use it for the radio? The radio? Can you say the? Can you do THs? Because he does it. I guess he does it in conversation.
Get Nick on the mic.
I guess he does it in conversation. I don't notice, but when When you go on mic and you're recording something for the show, wouldn't you try and like speak a little bit better than you normally do?
I overthink it, and then I screw up more.
Nick, the rain in Spain falls mainly on the plane. Say it. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plane.
What was it? One more time. Sorry.
The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plane.
The rain in Spain mainly. I'm sorry.
All right. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plane.
The rain in Spain mainly rains.
Nope. The rain in Spain.
The rain in Spain.
No, don't talk over me. Let me say it and then you say it. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plane.
Now, you know what? Now I'm screwing up. Now, the rain in Spain mainly.
No.
Hit.
All right. Again. The rain in Spain falls. No, stop it, Nick. The rain in Spain. Jesus, you're like a wet cat, Nick. Take some Ritalin. Let's go. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plane.
The rain in Spain mainly.
No. The rain in Spain.
I'm done.
No, Nicholas, you come back here. We're going to do this exercise. It's good for you. No, come back. Real quick. Come back, Nicholas. Here we go. You listen to me. Don't get so nervous. No one's judging you.
I'm not nervous. I'm
okay. Well,
flustered.
Nicholas, don't get frustrated. We're going to get through this. The rain in Spain. Okay, so we're talking about the rain in Spain and how it falls from the sky. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plane. So the rain in Spain, and now it's falling on the plane. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plane.
The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plane.
See, we did it. Okay. And see how good a father I am? That's all we had to do, young Nicholas. See how we did it together?
Yes.
All right. Now, don't get so frustrated next time, buddy. All right, you sit down. We'll get back to it later.
Do we know that from Gilligan's Island? That saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I know it from like Happy Days or something.
Yeah,
like they were like someone was walking around with a book on their head. It was like they were going to like training.
Yeah.
But you see how I parent? You see how young Nicholas, he was getting all frustrated. And I knew he wasn't mad at me. He was frustrated with himself. And so you know what we did? We didn't raise our voice or lose our temper, and we talked him through it, and he did it.
And he for some reason, he gets frustrated and nervous talking on the radio, even though he works on the radio.
All right, what's your name?
Bird.
Is it okay to use this for the radio?
Absolutely.
Well, I'm going to ask right off the bat, what do you think of the show?
I thought the movie was great.
No, I was talking about the show.
The new show? Yeah.
Yeah, the new show.
Oh, I am enjoying it.
You're enjoying this show?
Yes, I am.
What's your favorite moment of the new show?
I love... It's not exactly a moment. I love how Fred doesn't let Hardy talk that much. I think that's hilarious. No, I mean, no, don't get me wrong. Fred, I love you. You know I love you. Fred goes on these rants. It just doesn't stop. It just doesn't. And Hardy can't even get a word in. And I know Fred's going on vacation next week, so Hardy's got plenty of time to talk.
He is a fan of the show. He knows I'm going on vacation. Also, I have him wake me up in the morning. Now he has no problem doing it that he doesn't work on the show. I'm kidding. John's looking at me like, really? He calls you in the morning? If you don't know, there was a big blow-up between the two of us on the air because I had the audacity to ask him to call me on his way in to make sure I was up.
Which I thought was ridiculous at the time. I don't think it's ridiculous anymore.
No, it's certainly not. I wasn't. There was no ramifications if he didn't. It was just a kind of a favor between bros.
Sure.
I mean, he was getting paid to watch movies. And not Dune. He was getting paid to watch movies during the show. The show was so boring.
Movies that he had probably already watched. Just wanted to have a screening of them again.
The man could not name a work of fiction. I'm not exaggerating when we said, can you... He's got a college degree.
I was there that day.
From Curry College.
Oh, boy.
You don't realize, even if one of my kids really wants to go to Curry College, they can't.
Nope.
Like, I can't do it.
No.
I'm not paying them. I'm not giving Curry College money. You gave a diploma to Bird. As much as you advertise on the stage, you could advertise all day. I can't do it.
We have employees here now. Milliken is smart guy.
And they walk around with Curry College sweatshirts on, and I always point to them, and I go, Bird graduated from there. And they have no idea what I'm talking about. But it's like I can't stop myself. It's like I got like something wrong with me where I got to say it. Like every time I see Curry College, I'm like, they gave a degree to Bird.
They all
and he couldn't name
Bird, too.
He didn't know what fiction meant. And then when we described what fiction meant to him, he couldn't name, conceptualize a book that was made up. We even said bird. It's a book that's not true. It's a book that someone made up. And he said the Bible, and we went, bird. You clever bastard.
Boy.
That's true. All right.
Some favorite moments so far?
Yeah.
One hasn't been birthed yet. How about that?
None? Nothing?
Nothing.
Wow.
Okay, well, that was, it's really hard to take, considering he couldn't name a book of fiction that he couldn't think of something that happened on the show. TJ, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to correct you. You're going in on Nick there for the rain in Spain there. You're not even saying it right. You're saying rain in Spain falls on the plane, but it stays in the plane.
Oh.
TJ,
with you, my friend.
TJ, is
you
the
go
point...
in on people who don't know what you're talking about, Fred. Come on, buddy.
TJ, is the point... Okay, TJ, is the point that I was saying the phrase wrong or that Nick couldn't repeat what I was saying?
Well, there's a little bit of both there, but
no, there's a lot of one and not much of the other, TJ. TJ, you are just barreling through it. It doesn't really matter. There's no conversation with you, is there really, TJ? There's just a lot of you just blowing through people.
Absolutely not, Fred.
Okay, thank you, TJ.
That's what you picked up from this?
Well, I understand that it probably annoyed people I was saying it wrong, so I just wanted it on the table.
I would say that guy's the only guy listening that was annoyed by that.
You said it so many times, and I never thought you were saying it wrong. And I think you and I got it from the same TV show in our youth. And, okay, so from My Fair Lady, TJ's right. It's the rain in Spain stays mainly in the plane. But I always heard it and recited it as falls mainly on the plane.
Maybe that's
so I'm
because,
with you.
Maybe that's because that was the joke that we didn't get from Gilligan's Island. Regardless, if I was saying it wrong, you win, Nick. All right, we'll be back. Perhaps Mike Gorman and perhaps more of Bird. Regardless, we do have a movie review to play at some point.
BackstageCountry.com, your online home for all things country music. Award-winning movies often have incredible soundtracks, and many of those have gone on to become country gold. We've picked our top 5 country songs that have been nominated for an Oscar. Text Oscar to 45911 to see if your favorite made the list on BackstageCountry.com. Text Oscar to 45911 and we'll send the link straight to your phone.
It's called Rising and Grinding.
Start your
Got
day.
your finger on the pulse, Fred.
Begin your
Seldom
day.
right and never wrong.
Right here. Is that toucher or is that target?
I know, looks like a poodle. It's an effing poodle, dumbass.
The Sports Hub.
Dune 2. There was a Dune 1.
Did you see it?
No. This is not something that I would see. I can assure you that I would not get it. I would not understand what's going on. It's not the way my brain works. I can't conceptualize these things.
If you decide to see Dune 2, lucky for you, the first or the next thing I guess we're going to hear is from Nick and Bird going to the movies, and Nick asked Bird to kind of bring us all up to speed. For anybody who does, I want to go see Dune 2, but I really don't know what's going on. You're in luck. Soon you will know what's going on.
Oh, cool.
So what movie did we go see?
Dune Part 2. At the dunes of the Cape. Bow, bow, bow. If you like making love at midnight. Come on, guys.
Why don't you give me a recap of what happened in the first movie?
So in the first movie, we have a young prince named Duke. His name is Paul. And he's...
Huh? There's a young prince named Paul. His name's Duke.
His name is Matt, but he's a Duke. He's a kick-ass Duke.
He's a Duke, which is very important to remember. He's the Duke of Port Pines. He's the Duke of Everett. He's got the biggest porch.
If you like pina coladas,
that's a joke because you said Dune. On the dunes of the Cape. If you like making love at the dunes of the Port of Pines. All right, here we go.
So in the first movie, we We have a young prince named Duke. His name is Paul. And he's going through a transition. His father's trying to prepare him to be the next leader of his people. And then they have to go to a planet to get spice. Now, spice is like, I'll compare it to oil because it's very important and it's useful for everything. And plants, there's a ton of plants and universes out there.
There's a ton of plants. Out there, there's a ton of plants.
Plants, universes out there.
It's kind of like Star Wars a little bit when it comes to that, but
like all the plants in Star Wars that were very crucial to the story, especially in the first one. Remember when we first meet Luke? All those plants.
Yeah, plants. There's a lot of plants there now on the ice planet Hoth.
Yeah, I don't recall plants in anything, but he's a big Jedi guy because that's when they went to the jungle.
There's a chance he's saying planets, but yeah.
Oh, I really didn't know that.
I hadn't even thought of that.
Planets and universes.
I
thought he said plants too.
Wow.
That's plants?
I don't want to spend too much time with this, but let's see if he is saying planets.
Plants. There's a ton of plants and universes.
Whoa, that is just ignoring
Hardy,
the second
what
syllable.
a catch that was.
Well, I mean, he did spend 20 minutes. There's 20 minutes of this. I mean, who knows untold hours. Wow, he just said, forget the second syllable. We're going plants.
Yeah.
Plants. There's a ton of plants and universes out there. It's kind of like Star Wars a little bit when it comes to that. But these people want the spice so bad, it's worth billions and trillions of dollars. So, in the first movie, there was a little bit of backstabbing going on. Paul's dad passes away, and he's now with the rat people. And he basically just trains with them and grows with them and leads them to a prophecy, which leads into the second movie.
No, what?
Yeah.
Repeat that real quick.
I don't remember what I just said.
All right, let's not hear it again.
Wait, did Bird just say he didn't remember what he just said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we know the rain in Spain stays
mainly in the plane.
All right, here we go. Now you're caught up on what happened in Dune.
Thank goodness.
And this is just Bird's feelings on what he just saw.
Now we're gonna talk about the Dune 2.
Yeah, they just walked out of the movie. Now, no spoilers.
Now remember, there's backstabbing in the first one.
Okay.
All right, so what happens? What happens in this movie?
So Paul's been trained. We come to find out his mother's pregnant, which is weird. It was creepy. Like, I know I'm giving this away. Hopefully they blur it out. But a talking fetus talking to you through, like, psyche it's just weird. It's just a weird movie.
Oh, Jesus. Why'd you leave that in? Now everyone who wants to see Dune 2 is going to know what's going on.
I should have blurred it for everyone watching on the radio. So, Bird, next time I'll do better.
Planks. Hi, it's Isaac Asimov, and I'm here to talk about plants. You know, pool.
Plants talk fetus. Psyche's is weird.
That just should be his movie review. And there's Nick.
How do I say? Government issues. The emperor and the other people were backstabbing each other.
More backstabbing.
Paul's trying to lead these group of people who believe in him because they believe he's a prophecy. And he's trying to get the prophecy to come true. And there's a lot of hardships going on. There's a lot of battles, great battles. There was a good battle. Nothing like Avengers or Lord of the Rings, but it was up there. I'd say it's 3 out of those top 3. That's number 3.
If you ever made a video of this, you could just spend an hour trying to figure out how to list what he's. Where would Lord of the Rings be in this whole devil's threesome?
Lord of the Rings, but it was up there. I'd say it's 3 out of those top 3. That's number 3. The battle fight. And so there's going to be a part 3, obviously.
What?
Battle fight?
Everything good happens in 3s. Part 3 things, Lord of the Rings.
It's a good battle fight.
Him and Zolak should do a show. Just called Ugg. Ugg and the Ugg Man. I wonder if Zolak's got his bifocals on and he's like, indeed, yes. That is about plants and universe.
Paul becomes this magnificent leader. Everyone follows him. and his mother and other people is the Dunes. He's not in the Cape, though. It's not the Dunes of the Cape. Maybe Australia Outback guy.
That.
If you like making love at midnight,
Now,
Maybe Australia Outback guy. Maybe Australia Outback guy.
I don't know. I listened to it 20 times. I've heard
Maybe
it.
Australia Outback guy.
Maybe Australia Outback guy.
What if like all of a sudden there was like mass carnage? That was the sign to the rebels to finally rise up. People of the Ukraine.
Maybe Australia Outback guy.
That's going forward.
Maybe Australia Outback guy.
Yeah, that's good. Outback, oi.
Do you know what he's saying?
He's saying, let's go to Outback, oi. Get a blooming onion.
That's what I swear to God,
Australia
that's all I
Outback.
can hear is Outback.
Australia.
Maybe Australia Outback guy.
Australia Outback.
And yeah, that was great.
All right, do you want me to play both of these, or if I was going to play one of these, what should I play? Casting or ending?
Oh, casting. Oh, you got to hear these. You got to
Maybe we'll
hear
see.
Siskel and Ebert talk about the
All right.
the casting of this film.
We'll get to Bird's future at a later time because let's stick to Dune. Now here is Bird and Nick. Now what are they doing here? I haven't heard this.
They're talking about the casting of the film. Who's in the film? Who?
Okay, they just saw the movie.
They just saw the movie.
They have phones that are computers in their hands.
And it is their job on this night. Bird is helping out, but his next job for the two of them to review this movie.
I think you're leaning us into maybe this is a Nick problem. Okay. It's Nick, two adult men, one with a child, both with college degrees. You have a college degree, Nick? No. Okay, I thought you did. You were an intern.
Who's in this movie?
Is her name Selena? She played Mary Jane Spider-Man. If that's not her real name, whatever, I don't care.
Okay, who else?
What
What the hell is he talking? He just talks so fast. He doesn't believe in second syllables. That's the problem.
What did he just say?
He said her name is Selena. It's not. It's Zendaya.
Okay.
He was the president of Selena's fan club. Did you know that?
Oh.
Is Selena the artist that was...
gunned down by the president of the fan club.
Yeah.
Yes. Tejano superstar.
Tejano's got too many syllables. It's Tan.
Yeah, Tano.
Not even Ta.
It's like Lone Ranger and Tano.
No, Lone Ranger Tan. That would be Tan. Tan.
I'm drawing blanks.
Who's the lead actor? Who's...
He's a young kid. I've seen him in other movies. I can't think of his name right now. I hate when you ask me this question because I always draw
Timothy...
blanks. Not Timothy Olympia. That's the other guy.
What?
Timothy Olympia?
It's Timothy Olympia.
What?
Timothy Olympia?
What?
Timothy Olympia?
Timothy Chalamet is Chalamet.
Chalamet.
But otherwise known
Timothy
as
Chalamet, the God.
Otherwise known as Timothy Olympia.
Timothy Olympia?
Ladies and gentlemen, Timothy Olympia.
Dave Bautista. There's that Pete.
Dave Bautista, of course, from Married with Children.
Dave Bautista. There's that Page girl. I can't think of her name. She was Black Widow's sister. You know what I'm talking about.
Florence Pugh.
Pugh. It was close enough. Page Pugh. Pugh. Stinky badonkadonk. Haha. Who's Thanos? I can't think. Josh Brolin. There we go. Josh Brolin's in it.
Who stole the show, you think?
The guy who played Old Men in Old Country. Something. Old Men in Old Country.
This guy watched movies every morning on the show. It's the guy from Old Men in His Old Country.
That's right.
How come I now know what he's talking about?
The winner for Best Picture is...
Old Men in Old Country. Old Country for No Men. The guy who played Old Men in Old Country. Something. Old Men in Old Country.
No Country for Old Men?
Old Country for No Men. Yeah, the main villain guy.
You just said...
My
For
God.
no men.
Josh Brolin in in Old Country for No Men.
He says everything wrong. Everything wrong. His brain is a real situation. They need to. Can you imagine how much he has to fight to get things from his mind into his mouth?
Just to fight through the day, each day.
Hachi machi. It's exhausting.
It's a marathon. Every day is a marathon. Just communicate with people, get from point A to point B, consume information.
I think he can get the information in.
I'm not sure about that.
I do. I think
there's a barrier somewhere.
I think that he can get the information in. It's getting the information out.
Old Men in Old Country. Old Country for No Men.
All right.
It's like getting a needle through a jar of mayonnaise.
Just every day.
Like it's just like forcing it slowly through the glob.
Just tired at the end of the day.
No Country...
That's why I can't play the last clip, because it's just too much. It's like too much.
No Country for Old Men?
Old Country for No Men. Yeah, the main villain guy.
You just said... What?
Remember he was running around like this, banging his chest. He was talking about the prophecy. He's the man. Who's the one?
Since there's a lot of conversation about like spices and whatnot from this movie.
Yep.
Who's your favorite Spice Girl?
I liked Sporty Spice. Then it was Posh Spice. I can't. Baby Spice. I like Baby Spice. No, sorry, Baby Spice.
Sporty Spice was like kind of gross.
Was she? I can't remember her face in front of me right now.
Hold on.
And then you must have been a Sporty Spice girl.
No, I was not. And as they were talking about this, I thought about it. My favorite was Scary Spice, and then I thought that was pretty racist because she was the only minority Spice, so that made her scary.
Well, she also had a relationship with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, Mel B got pregnant, right?
Mm-hmm. Eddie Murphy's got like 25 kids.
Yes,
he's got a lot of them.
But it started horribly. The middle was torture. The ending is bad. But it just listening to Nick with the radio, because I've been listening to him. Thank you very much. Yes.
All right.
Hearing Nick with
Is it okay to use this for the radio?
Do you hear that?
Use this for the radio?
Yes, I do. The radio.
I can't.
The radio? The radio? The radio?
The radio.
The radio.
You use this for the radio?
All right, I need to clean my brain. It's too much.
Timothy Olympia?
God, Bird's never leaving that house. His poor parents. But they probably understand it. They probably just ignore him. Don't you think? That now it's just a matter of ignoring him?
I can't believe that, you were friends with him and he called you to wake you up and he worked on this show and now you're speaking this way about him.
In the first movie, there was a little bit of backstabbing going on.
Yeah, a lot of backstabbing going on here.
The Emperor and the other people were backstabbing each other.
All consumed with the backstabbing.
That poor banana place that he had to chop the bananas at.
No, that's right. That was a gym, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Bird. All right. Well, thanks,
you. Nick.
I hope that, Nick, did you enjoy the film? Okay. Here he comes. Did you enjoy the film, Nicholas? Was it Nicholas? Nick!
It was good. It was too long.
It was too, well, I got it. You don't go to Dune 2 to get out of that theater. You don't go to Dune 2 to get out of that theater. The people that go to Dune 2 want to be there for they measure the success of the film by the length of time they're out of the house. It's too much. All right, thank you.
It wasn't a Coen Brothers take on a Cormac McCarthy novel.
Old Men in Old Country. Old Country for No Men.
But it was still good, according to Nick.
2 hours and 50 minutes of escapism into the land of Dune. I need a break for Paul Pines. Well, in a future date when we've all cleansed ourselves of this, we can hear why Bird was no longer employed by Fenway Park, much to the consternation of his good buddy Nick, who apparently had leaned on Bird an awful lot during the summer months to get him into every Billy Joel concert under the sun. All right, we shall return.
The radio. The radio. The radio. The radio.
BackstageCountry.com, your online home for all things country music. Country music has so many generous artists who always seem to jump in to help those in need. We're spotlighting 5 who lead by example and lend a helping hand to charitable causes. See who made our list when you text GIVE to 45911. Text GIVE to 45911 and read all about it right now on BackstageCountry.com.
Wallach and Bertrand get you through the workday at 10. Right now, it's Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy, and if you've been consuming any national sports media over the last 5 days, now that the combine's going, it's going to stop, but for 5 days, the national media was discussing storming the court in generally college games, college athletics, where, you know, there's an idea that the people in the stands, their peers are on the court. Like, they're student athletes, and that the people in the stands are to be students. The people that storm the court are generally students. So it would be people who matriculate on campus together, coming together on the court. I mean, is this not lost on anyone? The division between the fan and player is not supposed to be there. For instance, Florida Atlantic University could be a Final Four team. The kid in the stand at Florida Atlantic, it should be considered on the same plane as the basketball player at Florida Atlantic. You understand?
Yes.
They're not to be put on a higher pedestal.
No, in theory, you were in class with these guys. You know, you see them on campus. You feel an affinity to them.
They're in student housing. One could be your roommate. You could be going down to see your roommate. But whatever his name,
Jay Billis,
from Duke. He played. He's a lawyer, so you can tell the lawyer's got to him. It's like nagging at him. And he had this to say about storming the court.
The administrators will tell you that security experts tell them that it's not a good idea to try to stop the court storming, that could cause more problems than it would solve. But you don't have to stop the court storming. One time, all you have to do is once they're on the court, don't let them off. Just say you're all detained and give them all citations or arrest them if you want to. And then court stormings will stop the next day.
Which is really a national crisis. He's talking about it exactly like people talk about school shootings. I mean, that's what he did. A part that we didn't play is him saying, you know, we're just going to talk about this for a few days and we're going to forget about it. And then we're not going to do anything, which is what happens after every school shooting, which is a national crisis. Storming the court. I mean, you really got to get over yourself. You really want to cheapen like anything important by making nonsense, talking about nonsense the same way the 7-foot kid from Duke got his ankle rubbed.
Filipowski.
Well, thank you, John. The story would have carried no weight without his name. But yes, Filipowski. Thank you for that.
I like the name.
Thank you. It's a nice Polish name, I would imagine. I don't want to get on any.
No, I like Wallach adding the name is what I was saying.
Oh, well, thank you. You said I like the name. I just thought you liked the name.
No,
it's no plans. But you know, someone bumped into the kid, and now it's Jay Billis, who has really put college athletes, college basketball especially. I question even the popularity of the college name 3. I would defy anyone in this room besides John, who calls Bryant basketball, to name 3 collegiate basketball players right now that aren't female. 3 male collegiate. All right, who's the U.S. male? Okay, I'll pull up an NBA mock draft.
Okay.
You tell me the first kid from the NBA that's going to be the first NBA pick that's going to be a college player in a mock draft. Who's the hands down? Because I know all the kids are from France.
Yeah.
So tell me the first kid from college basketball that's going to be taken in the NBA draft this year.
I know there's a kid from Colorado that's really good. I know there's a kid.
Do you know his name?
No, I don't.
His name happens to be Cody Williams, and in this mock, he's going 6th.
Okay. Yeah.
Behind France and Lithuania and the G League.
Buzelis and
you know
Sarr
what? I got news for you. These kids are no better than anyone else.
Yeah.
They're big deal. Get on the court. You know how many kids from Duke are going in the NBA draft according to this thing? Like 1. Big deal. Big deal. Filipowski's got going 9th.
Yes. He's a lottery pick. Always has been.
Well, no, not always. Not the one I looked at yesterday had him going in the late teens.
Really?
Yeah,
I have.
Yeah, Johnny.
Seen that
I mean,
one.
there's some mixed reviews on him.
You got me.
You
got me on
stamped
that
him as
one.
a lottery kid, and that's just not right.
You got me on that one, Fred. You did.
But again, arrest them all. Yes, of course, because Jay Bill is because they're so important.
Not arrest, issue citations, which is really going to deter them.
Let's just arrest everyone. Let's spend our time arresting everything that could possibly go wrong. Let's everyone with a wall unit, air conditioner that could fall out of the window and land on someone on the street. Let's just arrest them all. Arrest everybody.
And, of course, it's easy to detain 10,000 people there on the floor.
Well, of course.
Very simple.
And he dismisses all the security experts. That's just the schools talking through. That's just the puppeteers of this big school wanting everyone to rush to court.
20 police officers could pen 10,000 kids in.
I know we're talking about it because I just love it now. Now it's gotten to the point where I love it. You should hear these idiots knocking into each other. There's this one guy on ESPN, and he's like the ballsy guy. Yeah. I don't even remember who it is. And he's like, you know who's responsible for this? Take a look in the effing mirror.
Oh,
ESPN has glamorized court storming. Like someone talking about a Marilyn Manson album after Columbine. Like, I get it. I mean, because it's a guy from ESPN, whatever. Unless it's Greenberg or Punts Magoo or Stephen A. Smith, I don't know who the hell they are. By design, they just chuck them all up there. But one of these guys was like, you know what? I'm going to say it. Look in the mirror. This is an M. Night Shyamalan film, my friend. We're going to turn the camera on yourself. These who cast it. We have glamorized court storming.
So it's not everybody, of course. There are people who are already going against. It's not just you, Fred. You're not the lone voice in the wilderness saying that Billis and other people like him and their thoughts on this are ridiculous. His own colleague, Richard Jefferson at ESPN.
There has been things that have happened, but this is about college basketball. This is about college football. To say something, and I love Jay Billis, a legend in this game.
Yeah, he's a legend.
That is asinine to suggest that. Because for me, when you look at this, yes, get your players off the floor. We saw the situation with Caitlin Clark. However you feel, left or right about that, was it a little bit of a flop? Was it a little bit of an embellishment? I get it. But this is a part of college sports.
The Caitlin Clark thing when she was walking off like consumed. And don't worry, Caitlin Clark, it's never going to happen again in your life. Like, seriously, like, if you're worried about Caitlin Clark getting rushed again on the court, I can assure you that's never happening again. That was a lightning in a bottle
because she's going to
moment.
win even those road games. Is that why you say that, Fred?
No, she's never going to break the scoring record, and no one's ever going to pay attention to her again. Oh. It's never going to happen.
Oh.
There's going to be another moment in her life where there's this much attention on her?
Well, yeah, when she, plays more games and goes to the WNBA and maybe
wins a WNBA title.
Well, yeah.
Who won the last three? Name anyone who's ever won an NBA.
I can give you
title.
the last two, and it's
you
scary.
can?
I can.
Why?
I don't know.
You don't even
why.
have a daughter.
The Las Vegas Aces have won the last two.
Oh, well.
Coached by Becky Hammond.
And
I take it back.
Does Brady have a piece of that team already?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, he's a man who's made several good business decisions between his cryptocurrency and lifestyle brands. The success of TB12 and his cryptocurrency, he's really lost himself millions.
We cracked the code for him. Just tell everybody how you get your face to look like that, and you'll make $1 billion.
Again, watch the only thing I've gotten out of that Dynasty documentary, which I sold out and got Apple Plus for, even though it's not very good. I sold out. The only thing I've gotten out of it truly is Tom Brady has the best plastic surgeons in the history of the world. What he's done to his face, I understand he's thin. I understand he was always good looking, but he did not look like this. And it's not just losing weight. He wasn't a big fatso coming out of Michigan.
No, and he
was
wasn't,
also 22.
He wasn't good looking as a rookie.
No, not particularly. No, he started jazzing it up when he was with them goats in GQ. Oh, yeah. Not goats like he's the greatest ever, like literal goats.
But you're not.
Was that a foreshadowing? Was that a God shot?
You're not saying he's not the greatest ever, though, Fred. Be careful.
617-779-0985 is Tom Brady the GOAT. Boston Sports in your face. 98.5 the Sports Hub.
What's your Mount Rushmore?
Oh, dude. I mean, you got to have Russell on there because of the champs, because of the ships, baby. I mean, the greatest competitor I've ever. Look, I didn't see him, but bro, you got to have Russell on there because the ships. Now, or.
I think during COVID we did a segment of the Mount Rushmore of Mount Rushmores. What are the four? All right, quarterback Mount Rushmore's got to be on there.
Put a hat on top of a hat, my friend, as we said yesterday. But there you go. So, you know what? I do believe that the court storming conversation will be over. And I do believe that this is the most hysterical. This is the most hysterical I've ever seen the media being over something dumb. I can't think of something that they acted like was a societal problem. I'm sure there's been a bunch of them. But it was really weird. Because I heard an exhausted JT the Brick on Sunday.
Oh, yeah?
Complaining about how that was all anyone was talking about. And I'm like, I didn't know anyone was talking about this at all. And then he goes, I'm not going to talk about it. I already covered it. JT the Brick comes in with a bit of an ego. Because he did win the Smack Off in 1996. Yeah. And he goes, like, I'm over it. And then 3 hours later, I'm in my car. And what is JT the Brick talking about, according to the graph on my radio? He's talking about storming the court. So he had spent a solid weekend talking about storming the court. And so if your kids...
You want to be on the safe side? Never say out loud or on the air about what you're not going to talk about. Because at some point, I can almost guarantee you, you're going to end up talking about it.
You're giving me the Felger mask. We're not going to talk about players in the draft and then talking about players in the draft for the next 2 hours?
Yeah, but they do it in a very charming way.
Yeah. I didn't say they did it in a bad way at all. I would listen to people talking about the draft for 4 hours a day. In fact, I do.
All I'm willing to say is something like, I don't like talking about the Hall of Fame for any Hall of Fame, but I will. I'm not going to say I'm not going to talk about it, but I despise it. I despise Hall of Fame conversations. No. They suck.
Well, you should go to the hockey one. You would only be in it for 2 minutes. You can walk through it. It's in a mall, if you didn't know.
Well.
All right, we'll be back in just a moment.